We are all friends.
Seems okay if we can get to it. Just hope the old man distracted me like I should.
$69.
Like a leper. See, they're low. They're code. Bad joke.
The Riddler. In this film, Bruce Wayne has been prowling the city streets of Gotham at night as Batman for 2 years. He's pretty new to the job, and the police don't really trust him yet. Although, Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright, has developed a friendship with him. And when dead bodies begin to show up with cryptic clues left by a serial killer calling himself the Riddler, Batman and Gordon team up to try to solve this case. A few years back, I kind of stopped doing the whole, my most anticipated movie of the year thing, but part of me thinks that if I was still doing that list, the Batman would have been the #1. Matt Reeves has never made a bad film. I love Cloverfield. I loved his Let Me In remake, and both of his Apes movies. I think he's one of the best filmmakers working today, and I'm so glad he's working in studio space because he's making really interesting and bold, dramatic films out of what someone else might have just looked at as a paycheck picture. I've also been pulling for Robert Pattinson for many, many years. I thought he was fantastic in so many films, namely my favorite movie of 2019, The Lighthouse. So when he was cast as Batman, I was ecstatic. I thought it was a fantastic choice, spoil. I thought it was brilliant. I've never seen it done before in a Batman movie. It was an ingenious way for Batman to tabulate everything he was investigating. The choice to make the Riddler essentially the Zodiac Killer is also very smart. Because if you look at real life true crime, someone like the Zodiac who left ciphers and clues and toyed with the police is essentially the Riddler. And although I will always have an affinity for Jim Carrey as that character, this really brings the Riddler down to earth and makes him feel like someone that could feasibly pop up one day. And so the film is sufficiently terrifying at times. And having loved Paul Dano in multiple films, especially Prisoners, the choice to make him a psychotic, murdering maniac works for me. Michael Giacchino is excellent as Selena Kyle. I love the simplicity of her mask. It works for a character that is not rich, that does not have a lot of money at all. And she would have just cut that out herself and put it on her face, and it just makes sense. Colin Farrell as the Penguin is absolutely unrecognizable. What they've done with him is astounding. And it's not even just the way he looks. You know, sometimes you hear criticism about actors who get a lot of praise for a role where they're wearing a lot of makeup or prosthetics and there's been CGI work on and all that. His voice, though, I don't know how that voice is coming out of Colin Farrell. It just doesn't sound a thing like him. And again, the Penguin could be a character that you could really go over the top with. And he does. He is very big in the movie. It's not like Danny DeVito eating fish and spitting and stuff. It's not that over the top. But every time Colin Farrell has played a villain in a comic book movie, like Bullseye and Daredevil, he definitely goes there. This time, I think it really works. And he also has one of the most insane